Okay, hello everyone. I'm David Hed from SUNET. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but thank you very much to Nicholas and Patience for inviting me. And feel free to interrupt and ask questions. I don't have any camera of your room, but please just speak. A short bio from myself. I'm from Sweden. I'm working at the NREN in Sweden called SUNET. I'm the coordinator for our security center and our campus network as a service. I'm also the task lead for the security products and services on the GEANT project that could be of interest as well. And I've been doing pretty much information security and computer networking stuff for the last 20 plus years or so. So for those of you who do not know SUNET, we are an infrastructure governed by the Kingdom of Sweden. So we are a state-owned function. We do have roughly 8,000 kilometers nationwide fiber, and that's triple redundant to most of our universities, as you can see on the map shown. And zooming out, we are part of the Nordic collaboration in the north of Europe, in the Scandinavian and Nordic countries, called NORDNET. And that is also part on a more global level, where we have fiber connectivity to other continents as well. And to Africa, we do have connections through GEANT that you might know. So that is a collaboration across the globe. So what is the campus network as a service that we use for our constituency? It's a redundant network that scales. It's primarily wired, but also wireless. We do deploy radio servers, have the Wi-Fi, firewalls as an option, and the management tools to support it. We also do monitoring with Nav and Argus, and some additional documentation that's also part of the service. So what is the campus network service? It's a collaboration between the universities and the NREN SUNET. A quick timeline where we have been and where we are. So in 2017, we had discussions with the IT directors. In 2018, we did a pre-study and the project start with a reference group. And then we did the procurement for the equipment and the recruitment of the new staff to handle this new service. And in 2020, we did our first customer installation, and now there are 10 plus customers, and we are having a new procurement round that is just finished. So it's a stable service right now with the improvement iterations happening. So why did they come to us wanting this service? It's a standardized service tested on most campuses. It's a high security with repeatable quality. We have a very clear pricing structure and a robust, flexible design. We also do no vendor lock-ins. All features and functionality must be supported by multiple vendors. We can change and swap equipment. We do provide training of the local staff, and we share all the improvements with all the customers. We're doing this pretty much non-profit just to keep costs at zero sum. And we do have monitoring and troubleshooting by our SUNET NOC, and that is 24/7 all days around the clock. And right now it's ready to be connected to our new core network that is a 400 gigabit network that is throughout the country. So from a customer perspective, is SUNET taking over my network now? But it is a collaboration between the university and NREN. We design everything together with the local IT director and the local staff. We install it together with either a subcontractor or with the local staff. And the institution usually owns the equipment and operates the network and makes the configuration changes. And SUNET assists if it is needed. And we do have the NOC, as I said, that monitors. We also have a shared responsibility model for what is done locally and what is done on a central level. So the help desk is a local thing at the local university, and the NOC is ours. So the support function escalates to the NOC, and if we can't handle it, it's either escalated internally to engineering or the DevOps team or to the supplier. We also have this purchasing center that is free to join for our customers, where we do these procurements for the campus gear. And those policies and guidelines are available there on the link, I think. Oh, they are in Swedish, unfortunately, but the documentation is mostly in English. Yeah, and as I mentioned, we design together with the customer, create a plan and redundant design. We do an inventory of the current network components and see in what steps and order we do the change to the new equipment. This is an example of a reference design mostly used for a bigger university that has data centers and multiple distributed and switch with a core network. This is a big design. I had this as an example to show that it is a redundant design. We also do the inventory and design of Wi-Fi, seeing what is wanted and needing. So first a theoretical approach to plan it, and then we do actual measurements in reality to see if we need to adjust or add new access points. And we also have the network management system, the SUNET NMS. This is open source and free to download and use, and we could collaborate a bit on that. It's zero-touch provisioning, so you can swap out equipment and it downloads the configuration pretty much automatically. It also handles the firmware upgrading and configuration, showing the delta of the changes implemented on each device. Above here you see the link. I can share the links afterwards for those who want to need. Pretty much it's open. We share pretty much everything openly, so it's free to take a look at. The customer material is locked, of course, but all the other documentation is open. So our typical customer, it's pretty much all the sizes. It's smaller and bigger campuses, perhaps only one building, perhaps multiple cities. It's very different, as we have both large and small customers currently. So the roadmap right now, the procurement is finished. We are onboarding new customers in Sweden. We are improving the current customers. We're trying to automate more, and we are going to perform more trainings and workshops together with the vendor. And we use Arista mostly as the vendor. We do want to extend and work internationally, perhaps through Jaunt, to make use of the network management system to automate things and share the templates for different devices and stuff like that. So this is a brief overview, but I wanted to go into the scenarios why we did this. And the initiative is to help people grow. We had a problem with smaller universities and an even bigger one. They had trouble retaining the staff and giving them new experiences and exposure to enterprise-grade equipment and automating these. Also, a smaller university could have, it could be troublesome to have planned vacations or even sick days that you really can't plan, or going to conferences like this and so on. It could be troublesome if you are a single person at the site. So we are really doing this to support the local institutions and universities. So I am going to share a few stories on how things have been for the customer's case. So this is a small university. The university director was scared of just having one single technician. So that technician, he got new subject matter experts and colleagues from us as the NREN. He had the possibility to go on vacation and have sick days without being forced to be available. So that gave them an opportunity of having free time and life to do more things. And it was just one technician at that site. So we really offloaded them with our team of 10 plus people. And another example is a mid-sized university. The IT director was hesitant to hire yet another technician because it was an economic impact for them. So they rather have a savings having us as a service. And that technician got promoted to manager and supervisor of the other colleagues, with that time not spent on firmware upgrades and stuff like that. So they gave the technician a promotion opportunity. And the third case I wanted to highlight was a large university. They actually just wanted to get into the equipment deal. Our procurement had very good pricing. But when they compared the costs, they actually saw that they got our 24/7 NOC support included as a price, like even cheaper. So they got new equipment and 24/7 monitoring. So they gave the IT director and the university the opportunity to getting help outside of working hours. And another, this is the same university. They wanted, or had the opportunity to offload an onboarding staff to join us as an NREN. So a few of the people working at that site, they came to us, so they got a career opportunity to still work with their university, but through the NREN. So they got a new career opportunity. And another university, they had multiple sites, multiple buildings, very complex infrastructure. So we helped them streamline the replacement in multiple buildings, helping them set up the templates and automation, making the upgrades easier for the customer. So that gave them the opportunity to collaborate together with us, automate the equipment, and making use of all these new enterprise features that are included in this equipment. And another, a mid-sized university, they had a fairly small but competent team. They fixed most things themselves. But we as an NREN had closer connections and relations with the equipment manufacturers. So that gave them the opportunity for escalation support and a single point of contact, and they could offload the big problems to us, and we could really help them on resolving issues faster than they would be able to themselves. Yeah, that was a quick overview, and that leaves us also time for some discussions and questions on the topic. We have the link here on sunet.se/services/nat/campusnet/CNAS. So that is our main page. And you also have my LinkedIn page if you want to ask any questions that you don't want to ask here in public, or reach out in any.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. That was precise, but I hope the audience was able to get the gist of it. So Campus Network as a service, like I mentioned, we are looking at people that have done it successfully in other places, and we are looking for how we can adapt it to our setting to help you serve your people better. Questions?
Good morning, David. My name is Edwin Veul from SURF, the NREN in the Netherlands. I'm curious how the procurement resulted. Could you stick with the same manufacturer? And if it would it change for all the universities in Sweden?
The sound was breaking up a bit. Could you type the question perhaps, or address the microphone closer? I had trouble hearing the specific question.
Okay, and I can hope you hear me correctly now. My name is Edwin Verhul from SURF, from the Netherlands. I'm curious about the procurement, what the result was, if you could stick with the same network vendor.
As you typed the question, I heard bits of it. I heard SURF in Netherlands, and they are providing a similar service as us, and we do collaborate together with SURF. So they have actually extended our software as well with authorization support for the NMS. So we do collaborate, and also our close friends in Norway, SICT, we also collaborate together with.
Thank you, David. But I think the question was about the equipment vendors. Like, do you stick to the same vendor? Do you recommend the same vendor to the universities? For example, do you tell the universities that if they are taking up campus network as a service, you will only deploy Juniper equipment, or you can do Juniper, MikroTik, Cisco, anything the university wants?
Yeah, sorry, some talking close to the mic as well. Could you type it, please? I can answer better. I think William and Cleo is close to the
No worries,
keyboard.
no worries.
Yeah.
Maybe Edwin, you can type. Any other question? But it's to do with equipment vendors. I know you had a slide on multiple vendors, that you support multiple vendors. Are you strict on vendor, or you can support any vendor that the university wants? Okay, so if you have questions, you can let us know and we type them, or you can reach out to him on LinkedIn. The mic is failing us. So David, just a minute.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you, William. I see the question now, so I repeat. What was the result of the procurement, and could you stick with the same network vendor? So the procurement was done this spring, and it was the same network vendor, and it is Arista for us for this network equipment. We also did a separate procurement for the firewalls. That is through a different distributor, but the special case now with Arista is that we actually buy more or less directly from them. So they deliver it to the Netherlands, and then we do the local shipping within Europe, either to a storage or to directly to the customers. Another question, and if another network vendor would win, does that affect the currently deployed CNAS environments? And I think mostly not, since we do have an open design that is interoperable with different vendors. So we have actually done migrations where we have kept the core network with Cisco, and then we have added another network more or less on top of that with Arista. And that also goes for the firewalls that we usually deploy in a separate fashion as well.
Okay, we still have a lot of time. Any other questions, or you will reach out on LinkedIn? Okay, thank you, David. I think the room is happy with the presentation. They've digested it well, and they will reach out on LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. Please reach out. My email address is pretty easy as well. I didn't type it out here in the presentation, but it is david@sunet.se if you have any follow-up questions or want to share some experiences. It was very nice to present to you, and yet again, I'm sorry that I couldn't attend in person. Perhaps a colleague of mine or someone could come in the future. It would be a great opportunity for us. So thank you.
Thank you.